Oh, shine on, harvest moon up in the sky. Oh, what a great celebration for me and my chickies, oh yeah. Oh, what a great celebration here at harvest time at Dollywood. This is Miss Lillian here. I want to introduce to you some very special folks to me. They've come here at Dollywood during the harvest celebration for several years now. I want you to meet my buddies, Larry and Cleo Stock. Take it away, Larry and Cleo.
What I'm working on is a piece of sassafras, but I use any kind of wood from trees that put nuts on it, fruit, or flowers. They're all native hardwoods, and that's what I work with. And a piece like this, I could probably get a half a dozen spoons and dippers or cups out of it. And I do it just like they've been doing it for thousands of years. They're good for just about anything you want to use them for.
What tools do you use and what do you call them?
Basically, I'm using a gouge and a mullet. And probably 99% of what I do is with this gouge here. That was made by Shedfield in Shedfield, England 240 years ago. They came out of a museum in Poland when the Iron Curtain went down. I got a big collection of them. And I love working with them. I just love the idea of picking up old tools and working with them. You can imagine what people did before me with that gouge and what they made. That's what I love about them.
Now, what is that device called that you're using as a hammer?
That's a mallet, made of dogwood, but I'll make them out of either dogwood or persimmon or pear. They hold up better than any of the others, but any kind of a good hardwood would work. And I can make them from a plank like this, or I can take like this piece here. That was part of an old meat board that got broke, they're going to throw away. It's sugar maple, it's a very good wood. So I just going to make a dozen small spoons out of that. I can do them out of just about anything. I've worked with wood all my life. But I like demonstrating the old way of doing things. They're kind of a dying art.
Sure is, Larry. Hey, tell me about your hat.
Oh, my hat. This is made of wool. It's felt. Cindy, who will be here next week, she's made 2 hats for me. And like I say, they're made out of wool. They're felted. But what's neat about it, she told me, if you wore it in the rain, your head would never get wet. And it doesn't. It sheds the water on it. But she's made 2 hats for me, and she's made 2 for my wife so far. And they're great. The other one's a little taller. You've probably seen me wear it. It's red.
What about your other clothes? Are they store-bought?
No, my wife makes them. I get one for my birthday every year. That's what I ask. Plus, I also get a blackberry cobbler for my birthday every year. And it's in February. But that's my newest one she made for me. We're wearing period of clothes of the 1700s, basically. Even to my buckled shoes. They're authentic, the way they were made. The old buckle leather shoes.
So who made them?
They're made of elk. Well, Mike, he used to be here. They manufacture the buckles, but he makes the shoes on them. And like I say, they're all made from elk. They're long-lasting, very comfortable shoes. But when you buy them, they're both straight, they're just alike. And then when you start wearing them, they take their shape. The hardest spoon I work is made out of Osage orange. And I'm using old fence posts to do it with. And that is hard. And the fence posts I'm working with were put in the ground in 1853. So they're well cured out. I've already got my handles figured out. This will come up here on this knot here will be one. And this one here will come up on this knot. And then this handle here will come down here. And I'll put another one in here. I'll put 2 more over here yet. So I'll get a lot out of one piece of wood. And then when I cut them all out, I save my scraps in a pile, and I'll make little spoons out of them. And then what's left, I scrape up, and that goes in my wood burner. So I use every bit of it.
Do you season the spoons?
Before you use them, you should season it just like an iron skillet. And whatever vegetable oil you cook with, put in it real good. You only have to do it one time, but then don't put it in a dishwasher or a microwave. Now don't use linseed oil or don't use olive oil. Olive oil go rancid. But any kind of other vegetable oil you cook with, that's all what you have to do. But now if you're using them for dry goods, you don't have to put anything on it. But if you're putting liquid, that's the best way to do it.
Will you show us more antique tools?
Well, I've got several here with me. I've got a lot more at home, but let's see here. I've got a gouge here. That one there is over 400 years old, that one. And then I've got a gutter probably is just about as old, right there. That you can use for making wooden gutters with for your house at, or you can make a bowl or dugout canoe, anything with that. But now, these are all the broad axes. All these tools are probably early 1800s. They've got the steel forged in the edge of them, and the base of it is iron, so you know they're very old when you work with those. Of course, then there's your good bracing bit right there with a 1/2-inch bit in it.
Can you change the bit?
This one is a permanent bit, but now you can. A lot of them go through and put a pin on the end, but this one doesn't have it. And then I got old measuring wheels that you measure with. It's got a mark, and it's got a little setting here you set for your rolling, so you know where your spokes go and all that. But then draw knives, I've got all forms of draw knives. That one there with the loose handle, that's a cooper's tool for making barrels and buckets with. There. I love collecting the old tools and working with them. But if I can find it, I'll show you something that surprises a lot of people. I got children's toys. That's a toy, but it's a real thing. It's as sharp as a big one. That's a toy. That's 1844. That's a lathing hatchet. That's a toy. That's from the 1700s, and that's a toy. There. But I've got little toy draw knives. Now, that one is not a toy. That's a window sash hatchet, but it's a small one like that. But I love working with the toy ones. I got some bungers. That's all that, well, I got a little saw here, but the blades fell out of it. But it has a little blade goes in it. Now that's a little toy saw too. And it had a real blade that would cut in it.
Wow.
It just fell out in there.
Thank you, Larry. You know, you're one interesting, crafty fella.
I told Cleo I've got little draw knives, and they're real draw knives that are toys. And I said I'm going to make me a little miniature toolbox, and I'm going to fill them up and bring them down here with all the little miniature toys in them. But you know, today you would never give a kid something like that. But you know, I bought my first rifle when I was 9 years old. A little single shot 22. And we didn't think anything about them back then.
Hey, y'all, here's how you can contact Larry. Be sure to catch our video demonstrating the art of making hook rugs by Larry's lovely wife, Cleo. What a team.